all of these books, all of these comments where people gave it not as good ratings, I feel like didn't know what they were expecting and then were mad that it wasn't what they wanted. You can't rate a book and say it was bad because it wasn't what you wanted. That's on you, brah. I really wish I could like this book, but I don't. It took me forever to get through the latter half, and all I really learned is that I don't like hot dogs nearly enough for me to read a book about hot dogs. That's on you. I went into the book thinking it was a memoir and received a confusing jumble of memoir travel book history. What irked me the most was how overly casual the author's tone was. It's written by a comedian. The jokes, sarcasm, and overall oversharing quirky girl facade undermines the fact that it's actually very well researched. No, that's the perfect recommendation for me. It brings up important aspects of hot dog history, especially its ties to political corruption. Overall, a book that leaves you wishing for better. It sounds like it's just not the book you wanted it to be. I hate these silly hot dog writers. I like everyone who's like, it's too much travelogue and not enough history. And then they're like, it's too much history and not enough travel. It's not serious enough. And and I like how they're like, it's too silly. And I'm like, it just sounds like you need to get more silly, dude. All right, Brave, I don't think that solved any of your questions, but it really did something for me in Fennel. I shall read and report back. Maybe I will read. I could use a book that has maybe a little too much silly in it. Camp Damascus is very good. I'm a little over halfway through and it's just so good. I feel like that's very high praise for a book. Also, still writing the Hive meeting, Chuck Tinkle. So this review is bias. This is what Fennel's trying to say. She's been on BTB. I think I would love this book. I think this might be my next read. You know what's even worse? What's even worse? That you don't like hot dogs? When someone reviews something? I don't know. Those like 6 reviews I just read told me everything I need to know about the book, about whether or not I would like it. So I feel like I'm good to go. And that's what reviews are supposed to do. They're supposed to tell me whether or not I think this book is for me and whether or not I think I would enjoy it. Because it doesn't make it a bad book. I mean, there are books that are written very poorly and are bad books. But most of the time, a quote-unquote bad book is just, you're not the intent. It's the same thing we talk about for all media, right? You're not the intended audience. You didn't like Barbie? Great. It probably wasn't for you. Horror is harder to read for me because it gets stuck in my imagination. I have a really hard time reading horror as well. Just homophobia and so stupid. I don't know. Sometimes I want a really gay read, and that feels like now I know what book to grab. I'm too straight. Anyway, I can read some mystery, but sometimes it gets stuck. Sometimes it gets stuck in my noggins.